Let me start with this. Most people think confidence is something you either have or you don't. Like it's a personality trait or something you're born with. And if you don't feel confident right now, you assume something's wrong with you. But here's the truth that most people never hear. Confidence, this isn't a personality trait. It's not motivation. And it's definitely not just positive thinking. Confidence is a biological response. It's your brain saying, I know what happens next, and I trust myself to handle it. And when that trust is missing, confidence disappears, no matter how badly you want it. Today, my friends, I want to help you understand what's actually happening in your brain when confidence feels hard, and why trying harder, all that does is make it worse. Confidence, my friends, is not hype. It's not even energy. It's not belief. Confidence is predictability. Your brain is wired to protect you, not to help you grow. And the brain doesn't trust what's ideal. It trusts what's familiar. That's why people can stay stuck in patterns they hate, but feel unsafe changing them. From a neurological perspective, confidence forms when your brain sees repetition. Your nervous system sees safety. Your actions match your self-image. Now, when those three line up, confidence shows up naturally. And when they don't, you feel hesitant, you have self-doubt, and you're second-guessing yourself, even if you know better. My friends, that's not weakness. That's biology doing its job. Motivation gets way too much credit. Motivation is loud. It spikes emotion. It gives you energy for a moment. But motivation does not create confidence. I don't know how I can say that over and over again. Motivation can undermine confidence if it's not followed consistently. Why? Because every time you feel motivated and don't follow through, your brain collects that evidence. See? We don't keep promises. See? This isn't safe. See? We always quit. And then over time, my friends, your brain stops trusting your intentions. That's why people say things like, I don't trust myself anymore. I don't feel like me. I don't know why I can't just stick to the things I want to stick to. It's not because you're broken. It's because your system has learned to expect inconsistently. Confidence doesn't come from big declarations. It comes from keeping promises, especially those small ones. Let me make this personal for a moment. There was a season when I looked disciplined on the outside, but internally my confidence was gone. Right? I kept telling things to myself like, Monday, I'll start. You know what? Next week, I'll be consistent. You know what? This time, it's different. And every time I didn't follow through, I didn't just feel disappointed. I felt quieter inside. Not dramatic, just disconnected. I remember thinking things like, how can I help other people build confidence when I don't even trust myself right now? And the worst part was, I was trying harder. I had more rules, I had more pressure, more self-talk, but none of it worked. What I didn't understand at the time was I wasn't failing because I lacked discipline. I was failing because my system didn't trust me anymore. My brain had learned that big promises usually meant burnout or disappointment. So I resisted change, even when I wanted it. Now, the shift happened when I stopped asking, how do I become confident again? I started asking, what's the smallest promise I can keep today? And my friends, that's when everything changed. Now, this part's so important, so pay attention. Most people assume if I understand the problem, I should be able to change. But insight doesn't rewire the nervous system. So under stress, your brain, it shifts into survival mode. That mode prioritizes speed, familiarity, and energy conservation, right? Like it tried to keep that energy, which means your old patterns are going to fire faster. Logic's going to shut down and new habits feel exhausting. So when you try to push through, you try to push through that change while you're stressed, your brain's going to push back harder. That internal resistance you feel, it's not self-sabotage. That's your system. It's your nervous system. It's your nervous system saying, this doesn't feel safe yet. Confidence doesn't grow through pressure. It grows through repetition without threat. And that's the part most programs miss. Confidence, my friends, is built in the small moments. Not when you feel ready, not when you feel that your life is calm, but when you show up in the small, repeatable ways, even imperfectly. Here's the reframe. Confidence is not built by asking, can I do this? It's built by asking, can I do this again tomorrow? The brain trusts consistency. The nervous system trusts rhythm. Identity forms after repetition, not before it. So when you start aligning behavior with who you're becoming, even in the tiny ways, confidence becomes that side effect. It's not forced, there's no hype, it's stable. So before I close, I want to give you something practical to use this week. It's not a challenge, it's not a routine. It's a self-trust reset. So here's what I want you to do for the next 7 days. Choose one small promise. Not a goal, not a life change, just one small, repeatable action you can realistically keep even on a bad day. Okay, so here's some examples you could do. A 2-minute walk. Maybe you write one sentence in a journal. One slow breath before reacting. Maybe drink one glass of water when you wake up. Super simple. And if it feels too easy, my friends, you're doing it right. Okay? And then step 2 is do it the same time every day. Because consistency matters more than intensity, right? The brain loves that rhythm. So same time, same action. And what you're doing is you're teaching your system, this is predictable, this is safe. And the last thing is just track it, right? Track your completion, not your performance. No judging, no grading. Just one simple question each day. Did I keep this promise? That's it. Because every kept promise, even a tiny one, it's evidence. And evidence is how confidence is built. And then step 4, the biggest step here because it's so easy. Don't add anything more. Don't stack any habits. Don't upgrade. Don't expand. Let the win stay small. Confidence doesn't grow from overload. It grows from reliability. This is why this works. It works because the nervous system feels safe, the brain learns predictability, and identity starts shifting quietly. You're not forcing confidence. What you're doing, my friends, is you're earning it back. Right? We all know how to be confident. So we got to find it again. And if this episode hit home, here's what I want you to know. Understand this one step. Experiencing is where change actually happens. So if you want to go deeper this week, come join me on the live on February 4th inside the Transformation Academy Facebook page, because we're going to keep talking about how to become the person you keep imagining without pressure or pretending. And then later this week, I'll break this down on YouTube, showing you how discipline, confidence, and identity actually work together in real life. My friends, this week's not about trying harder. It's about starting in the right order. You're not behind. You're not broken. Your system just needs a different approach. And we'll build it one stable step at a time.